Hello, it's Treasure Chest Tuesday with Soul Mastery. I'm Susan Taylor Shire, and I'm thrilled to be with you to bring forth the greatness of all of your soul gifts, strengths, and purposes. And that is what's going on in spades right now, but it may feel under the surface for sure. Be aware that we are at a new beginning. We talked about that at the beginning of the year, laying a foundation for lots to come. Well, guess what? That's exactly what's happening. We are laying a foundation for what's to become. So new beginnings mean they're a little more tender. They're a little more vulnerable. They need a lot of care. And this is what we want to be doing right now in this time when we're not rushing around doing 6 million things at once, which we're all learned to be very good at, but never really enjoyed as much as we'd like to. So we get to change all of that. So in this tender time of new beginnings, like you are nourishing a sapling that's going to grow into a big oak tree, but you don't see that quite yet. When you first have a baby or a puppy, you don't see where it's going, but you're happy to be with the state that it's in. So keep that in mind as you wonder what the heck is going on. And of course, I know that many of you are going, when is this going to shift? Whew, when is this virus going to disappear that seems to be causing such havoc and suffering? Well, you know what? We could say predictions. You know, you've probably listened to a few psychics because I want to know when it's going to be over and if it's not going to come back or if it's going to come back 6 times, and I'm going to listen to the scientists. Nobody knows for sure. You know why? Infinite possibilities for where everything could go from this moment forward, in this year forward. Because you know what? It's up to us. There is no designed plan. There are possibilities of grand things happening, and they will, but it's up to us as it relates to the timing, the way it comes about, etc. And how do we change that? Aha! So we change that by really honoring this reset time in big ways and little ways. So for instance, one of the things that's very, very important is building the immune system. Not to defend against some horrible thing out there, but because it's time to do that. Your immune system is directly, and I mean directly, related to our connection to spirit. This is what feeds our immune system most. Yes, vitamin C, vitamin D, good food, exercise, all those fantastic things, absolutely. But our connection to spirit, our sense of joy and aliveness is what is designed to feed our immune system to give us everything we need to thrive. So that's something you can be doing right now, which I know you all are in your varying ways. This matter of joy and creativity is very important right now. And let me just check my notes about something really quickly. Okay. How you take advantage of this time. I knew there was a word I was trying to remember. Take advantage of. Take advantage of this time. How do you do that? What really comes to the focus to the fore for you as you consider this time of what we're calling self-isolation, because you are choosing that deliberately for lots of reasons. But it's important to look at, what am I doing during this time to really make the most of it? Because as you make the most of it, as you up level in the ways that are real for you, then things will shift. And yes, it relates to following guidelines on the outer and sensibilities, etc. But it also relates to being intuitive about what is true for you. And I've talked about this a few times. So for instance, some of us are purging old patterns for the collective, it feels like, or for 6 million planets. That would be me. Purging old patterns. I'm happy to do that for the most part. But that seems to be my biggest creative, I won't call it challenge, but that's creative input, because you know what? On the other side, it's so fantastic. And I'll give you an example or two in a moment. So it's so great, and it just lights me up to be on the other side and bring these new beginnings for many things. I talked last week about moving out of freeze into the pattern of being more alive and coming out of numbness, which I grew up in numbness as a child. There's so many patterns that are coming up right now for us to look at, for those of you who that is true for. Now, there are also those of you who are just blissfully going, I love this isolation. I'm an introvert. I'm so happy to have permission to hang out inside and not have to deal with so much on the outside. I love this, whether it's working at home, being more by yourself, all of that. And then there are those of you who have families and children that you need to be with. And that is a very important time right now to build a sense of family on earth. All of this has larger dimensions and meaning. If you're being more quiet, that is gathering more energy around meditation and inward looking. If you're with family more, it's clearing family patterns, learning how to be in the family dynamic and bring a sense of humanity and belonging into the world and feeling that intimacy of connection. And for those of us who are living more on your own, by yourself, so to speak, it's learning how to connect heart to heart, even if you don't have those you love around you. Now, you may also be feeling some deep things coming up, which I've noticed with various people, and this one came up with me, which surprised the heck out of me. That deep feeling of, I don't belong here. This is not my home world. This is not my planet. I did not sign up for this time. How could I have? There's so much craziness and misinformation and people who are leading these countries of ours that are way off the mark, etc. How could I possibly have signed up for this one? I don't feel like I belong here at all. Those patterns are up for us to shift. Because on the other side of feeling that we don't belong, for instance, is a deep sense of what we do belong to. Simply put, Father Sky, Mother Earth, and humanity. Now, you could say you're not on the same page as humanity at all. They're doing all sorts of wacky things. I want you to touch in right now. For all of us, whether you've had this belief come up or not, that we don't belong here, whether you're wondering what the heck is going on, when it's all going to be done, etc., which takes us out of the present moment of just sinking into what's important to us right now, for you to create right now, just sink in for a moment to that sense of being held by Mother Earth, the beauty of nature all around us and with us, and Father Sky, that universe of stars and heavens and a sense of stability. On either side is a deep sense of being held and stable. Let it embrace you. You may not be so sure about humanity right now. That's okay. But let these invisible forces and the visible forces in nature hold you and allow you to feel that you belong to something larger. Something larger. Yeah. And as it relates to humanity, we are opening up the field of belonging to this world where we really are in the same boat together. We've seen this with all of our concern for healthcare workers, for those who are struggling with the COVID virus directly. We've seen this in the compassion for others around us. Older people, younger people, all of us are going, wow, we're in this together. We're starting to feel like humanity really is more on the same page than some of the media would like us to believe. So if we are on the same page, I want you to remember, we all want to be happy. We all want to feel respected. We all want to feel free. We all love kale. Just kidding. We have differences in that regard, and that's okay. But we truly want the same things. We want to live, and we want to thrive, and we want to know abundant life on all levels. All of us do. Yes, we all go about it in different ways, but if we start to connect to the essence of our belongedness, that's a new word, and our sense of connection as a human race, it will help us immensely to come to rest in this one world and this one movement that we are seeing more and more. Now, it's really, 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 really an important time for you to really, 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 really get in touch with what matters most to you right now. What do you want to create? Yes, personally, but in every moment. Are you getting to cleaning out that drawer that you've wanted to? Are you getting to that website you've always wanted to do? Really take some time to do what really floats your boat, and that is so important. It's unique for each one, but so important for us to do right now. What is it you want to create right now? That's all part of being sovereign. What do you want to create right now? And really listen to that. Now, you may have a family of 6 all around you, and you're listening continually to what they want to create. But really take a few moments to write down what's important to you and put that into the equation. Raise your hand at a family meeting and have a family meeting and say, okay, let's everyone say what their priorities are, and let's make sure we all support each one having those priorities equally. And doesn't that open a pattern for humanity? Equality. That is equal abundance, which is all part of equal pay, equal health care, all those things. How do we work together collaboratively as a consortium? Is that the word I want? I think so, of people working together. That's what we're creating in this new world. So you get to do that in the microcosm of your world. And it's really, really important to do that. Make your list. I've always wanted to do some watercoloring, you might say. Then do the essence of it at least, 15 minutes of it, just to start to open up new avenues in yourself. That is the reset, opening new avenues in ourselves. And one more point, and then I'll leave you on to another podcast or whatever you're going to listen to, because there's no shortage of them. When you start to consider how you want the world to change, pick not just, I want everything to change, this world sucks, it's just, I just am so furious about how things are and how things are not. Come up with 1 or 2 things that are very important to you at this time that you would like to put some energy into, and start in even small ways to do that. Maybe it's a $1 donation. Maybe it's doing a little research. Whatever it is, find that as your avenue. It takes all of us. It takes a village. And if we focus on a few things that are really, really important to us, then the whole pie, the whole garden will be filled out as we move forward into creating this new earth, into creating this new reality that lines up way more with where our heart is, because we've taken time to nourish and fill our hearts with what's important to us now. Don't judge it, be with it, don't judge others for what is important to them. Just be with what's important to you and let yourself thrive in small ways around that. Okay? You see? So many things we could touch into. And I just honor the ways that you are taking this time to be with all the means for you to be all the blessed soul that you are and truly be guided by your spirit. So, in the spirit of blessing, I will be having more, yes, more generous, what are we going to call them? Opportunities for you to take advantage of this time. Big discounts on sessions, and you'll see that on my website. And some couple of new ones coming up the 1st of May as it relates to working with moving energy in your home and helping your children to thrive, because those are two areas that are really up for us right now. And more coming to you, because Spirit wants you to thrive like crazy. And I support that 110%. Much love to you. I'm so thrilled that we are in this together. Absolutely, and we are. Feel that heart-to-heart communion and connection and that sense of soul family that is ours to be blessed by at this time. And I will see you again soon.